close loss to New Zealand, but that's past now. What's the morale like in there?
Yeah, it's been good this week. We knew that we probably should have seen that game out on the weekend, so there's an element of disappointment, but I guess we came to the change room and Steve was like, well, that's done now, that's the game. We'll review it, as we did on Monday, Sunday night and on Monday, and then kind of look forward to the new challenge of Australia this weekend.
Right, and of course, in the last 5 tests, England have had us considerably, and then gone on to squander in the last few minutes. What's gone wrong? What needs to be done better?
The biggest thing that we've spoken about, and also Steve has kind of highlighted, is just being able to see out games. On the weekend, our Q4 discipline wasn't good enough. We gave away too many penalties and we just allowed New Zealand to get back into the game. And I guess kind of it was a replica of what happened in the summer, really. We're just allowing teams to get back into the game in that final quarter. And for us as a team, it's something we're growing and trying to achieve and trying to be one of those championship teams. And championship teams finish off games, and it's quite simple, really.
Australia back in England after 2021. Why is it such an important game?
I mean, it's every game for us is important. I think it's even more important the fact that we're on this journey now where we want to be one of those top 4 teams in the world, and we're pushing. And it's a great challenge to go against these top teams. Like I said, New Zealand last week, Australia this week, and like I said, being at home and having these 4 games, it's good to get that momentum and also get the fans and the crowd behind us and get that noise building about this team, because it's an incredibly special team. We've got some really talented players, and I think that's been shown in the Premiership, and I think now we need to show it on the international stage.
Right, and you've won 10 of the last 11 tests versus Australia, with the last loss coming in 2022. So even though England versus Australia is like a bespoke rivalry in any sport, is it still a rivalry in rugby? Yeah,
definitely. I think, just look back at the history of everything that's happened between England and Australia. We know that this is an important game for us, especially it being at home and everything that happened last week. But for us right now, it's kind of, we know the journey that we're on as a team. We want to keep progressing, and this is just another step for us, and we know how important it is for us to get a good win at home.
Right, and coming to your game personally, you're switching to the outside. What do you feel about that? Are you more comfortable there?
I wouldn't say comfortable. I think it's just a great opportunity for me. Me and Slady are both interchangeable. We've been 12, we've been 13. We've played quite a lot together in different positions. For me, it's just a tactical aspect that we spoke about with the coaches this week that we think that we can explore. So we'll give it a try this weekend, and hopefully we can get the best out of both of us.
And last game, you didn't get much of the ball. Was that frustrating?
Yeah, it was frustrating. I think definitely for me personally, I think there's an expectation for me to help this team go forward with the ball. So the more I can get my hands on it and get this team momentum and get us moving, then the better that hopefully we can play as an attacking unit. So yeah, definitely something that I'm working on in my game to get more touches of the ball, whether that's being in the right position or offering myself up. There's plenty of ways, but yeah, no, I think the number on the shirt doesn't make too much of a difference. The main thing for me is making sure that I can help this team go forward.
And no pun intended, but Australia throwing a curveball at you with the inclusion of Joseph Sua'ali'i, who's not played a senior men's rugby union game before. How do you prep for someone like him?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult because obviously it's obviously switching codes and looking at kind of the league side of things. But I mean, yeah, he's an incredible player in the league aspect. I've seen a lot of his footy over the years, but it's a new environment for him. I'm sure he'll be excited for the opportunities of playing against us and playing for the Wallabies. But yeah, it's just like any other team. We preview the opposition, we look at their strengths, we look at their weaknesses, look how we can exploit them, and then just go after it. But yeah, the main thing really is doing a job for us personally as centres, making sure we get the best out of our game, going up against some of the best centres obviously in the world.
And you mentioned watching rugby league videos of him. Can you give us more insight into how you prep for a player like him who's never seen before?
I mean,
in person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is difficult really, because like, I mean, you just look at his stature. I think he's like 6'5", big lad, quick. So you've got to take away that time and space away from him as quickly as possible. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of unknown about him. Don't know how he's going to step up in that environment, playing rugby union, obviously on one of the biggest stages that there is in international rugby. So there will be an element of the unknown, but yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity to go against world-class players.
Twickenham and Australia.
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously a lot of history. There's a lot of rivalry. Go back 2003 with the World Cup and everything, and that always continues. And I think even looking back at all the fans that probably watched back then, I'd only been about 4 years old back then. But yeah, there's obviously a lot of history, and it's important game for us to make sure that we can beat the Wallabies on Saturday, and like I said, take the next step into this journey that we're going on as an England team.